Hi there, how are you, my beautiful humans, you amazing movers and shakers? This is Lesedi Ali, and welcome to the Lesedi Life Podcast. First and foremost, I need to give a huge shout out to my friend, shaman, Kevin M. Smith. Please check him out. His Instagram is how we connected, but this lighting, the level of safety and just I'm ready for right now is bananas. So just the little things we talked about that really helped me tap in, and this was one of them, and I feel so good. So anyway, what I want to talk to you all about is a very, very important conversation regarding our inner child, regarding any children in your life right now. And what Spirit brought to my attention was just gold. So I'm gonna dive right into it. I really do not have a title for this right now, so we just gonna go with the flow. The first thing that came up when I was listening to Spirit today had a lot to do with how I got started down the road I'm on in the first place. And then I think about, my inner child. Some of the things that we talked about this past week was being able to speak up, when you're told to be quiet, being able to stand out when you've been told for such a long time that, you're just too much, let's not be too much, let's be seen and not heard, those kinds of things, right? And so then I also looked at how that wasn't just so much in the more innocent form where, you're just doing things as a kid and kids are told not to be kids, right? Especially if you were the head of the household at a very young age, right? But then more so how that translated into the more concerning areas and situations, right? So what do I mean by that? I can recall a few times in my life where, being told and taught that family business was family business and you don't talk about what goes on in my house, right? Keep your mother's business out your mouth, mind your business, stay in a child's place. These things were said when scary things were happening when I was young. These things were being said when concerning things were happening when I was a kid. Things weren't always right in the house. And being home alone a lot was extremely traumatic for me. But my parents and grandparents, uncles, aunts, anybody involved that knew of our situation, they just taught you how to be better and stronger in that situation as a child, right? So this is all well and good for those specific times, moments, scenarios, because you're a kid, right? Just stay in a child's place. But what we're not paying attention to all this time ago was like, how was this child digesting this? How was this child going to carry this the rest of her life? Because in fact, I did. It got so bad where as an adult, I remember, I needed help. And I can't ask for help because asking for help means something bad, and I need to keep my business, and everybody can't be in on my business. And what if something bad happens, and what if something no good happens, or what if I let people in that shouldn't be in? So you don't ask for help, and you don't talk about what's going on in your mind, you don't talk about what's going on in your living situation, your home. And then I was prompted with the question, well, why not accept responsibility, if you will? Because my Capricorn nature is all about accepting responsibility. So we are quick to be on ourselves, right, in this self-reflection. The question that came up was, well, you don't have to necessarily use that thing for all situations. It's not like that's what your mom or your grandma or anybody was telling you to do, was to, not ask for help when you needed help. But isn't it? How am I supposed to decipher the difference in my, young mind, right? When I go ask for help or someone's asking me questions and I'm honest with them, I'm reprimanded in all situations. When I wanted to speak up and speak out about how I was feeling or what was going on or what even interested me, I was talking too much. Right? I still can hear in my ear my grandmother's voice calling me a news reporter. She said, "Oh, you're such a news reporter, such a little news reporter." And it was never encouraging. At first I thought it was cool, like, oh, that's nice. But then she kept saying it and it kept hurting and I never understood it, right? Anywho, fast forward to today, right? In my walking life, my healing journey, I really, really needed help at a point in my life. I needed a lot of help. And the only person there for me was somebody who was hurting me bad. And I trusted them because they were giving me the kind of validation and reciprocation and platform and resilience that I felt like I needed, from another person. And you can say, okay, well, why didn't we get this from our father? Our father was still around even though he wasn't in the same house. And to that I say, absolutely. No arguments there. However, I remember being two different me's in two different households. I was one way with my mom, I was one way with my dad, and to a vast differing degree, okay? Because with my mom, I was the oldest girl, I was second mommy, I had to be in charge, everything had to be a certain way. We had to really survive and be aware and just do things a certain way, And with my dad, I had him, I had my stepmom, I had my siblings, my other mother and my siblings, and I had to be a kid. So I wasn't really good with, some of the rules, and certain things just felt like they were too harsh or too out of the norm, And when he tried to show me family, show me, consistency, all those things, I could see it, but it's only gonna last a summer. I'm only here for a couple of weeks. This isn't my life. This is all fake. It's really what registered in my mind, because my life every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, aside from summers, was living with my mom in a state of shock, in a state of panic, in a state of fear, in a state of anxiety, in a state of what to do next, in a state of, gimme, please help me, see me. It was intense in my head. But so this person in my adult life was kind of like seeing me the way I needed them to see me and helping me the way I thought I needed them to help me. And they spoke to those parts of me that just like were all over the place and kind of searching for something or someone to hold on to. So what does all this have to do with like the inner child situations, right? And that's because we have to go back and heal those things. Otherwise, you're still kind of making decisions from those spaces. So for example, I don't make decisions from the space of, the victim mentality that I used to have. I was making them from a victim mentality that was, more present. I could still not speak my truth to people. I could still not set clear boundaries with people because it was still stemming from way back then. Now it's just had more trauma on top of that and more trauma on top of that and more trauma on top of that. But I learned not to say my voice a long time ago. So I've got to go back through the levels, back through the layers, back through the dark places to the child that was told she was too busy being a news reporter. And she's who I need to talk to. As an adult, you get so good or so easy at maneuvering. You're just like, all right, whatever. I'm strong. I've been through it. I'm all right. I'm good. But the 7-year-old you and the 5-year-old you, the 4-year-old you, some of you that remember that far back, the 10-year-old you, they have no idea. They had no idea. You had no idea. And so to this day, they come out in these little tendencies you have and this hardening of the heart you've had and these manipulative tactics to keep yourself safe that you might have. Even more so, you think you're keeping yourself safe from you a lot of the times. You don't trust you enough to move forward with the next thing. You don't trust you enough to let that relationship that's not serving you go. You don't trust you enough to fill in the blank. But I'm pretty sure there's a cycle somewhere in there stemming from all that time ago. And it's imperative, like we gotta deal with her, right? Or him. And then we can come back up and make sure everything's all right with those other parts and pieces that made it through the storms and it don't faze them none. For me, it's definitely like, I say from about 5 to maybe 4 or 5 to about 21, 22 is like the most severe stuff, So I'm dealing with my childhood, my adolescence, and my young adulthood. That's a lot to sift through. That's a lot to have to power your way through. But I'm learning through the self-healing and the self-love and the self-care that the closer I get to me, the closer I get to my source, my God, my creator, you know, and it helps me to look at all of this as the class it's meant to be, as the game, if you will, that it's meant to be, that I'm meant to take hold of. You know, when I was the victim before, everything else was going on around me and I had no control. I didn't understand, I didn't get it. But that healing shifted the perspective of everything, okay? And so the more I love and the more I listen, we're getting closer and closer and closer to living that life that we see and that God's put on our heart and that we just know is there. And I share this because I know there's some of you out here that when you keep fighting for love, you have no idea why you keep just having, you know, love for people that don't deserve love and caring for people that you feel just don't deserve it, and they just keep doing you wrong and doing you wrong and doing the next thing. Okay, I got you. We just learn to set better boundaries. But the strength in the fact that you love before anything else is huge. It's huge. And you don't want to lose that. You can't lose that. Like, that's how you were made. Don't go like shrinking and picking away at yourself so that this part of you is gone. We need that part. Look at the world we're in. Look at how people are living. The heart is the heart of the matter, right? So we get to a better place of softening our heart and letting people in when they need it. And okay, you know, now you gotta go your own way. You know, you figure it out from here. That ascension process is the evolutionary process, going through your spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it. It's so important. And I'm here to help anybody that has gone through so many things that you just can't even keep track anymore. Like, you know that you are meant for more, but like, where do you start? You know you got to heal some things, but like, where, what, why, when, who, right? And you can tell. And I'm sure you've tried it time and time again, but it just doesn't stick for one reason or another. And you probably just need help. You know, you just need help. I tell people all the time, it was hard for me to take help from people who had never been through what I went through in any shape or form, you know? So our stories may not be exact, but I'm pretty sure they're similar. I felt the pain that you felt, and I felt the heartache and the disagreements or delusions or, you know, whatever. I've been through a lot. And what I haven't experienced, you know, we get to at least share that together, you know, through that connection that we get to share, right? Just to move through it. So, man, I think that was everything I had to share with this topic. Oh, so the last thing, the little, you know, bow on top. You have to know that you are loved. You have to know that you are safe. You have to know that you get to pour this into something that is beautiful. All right? You're not like doomed for a broken vase. Your life is not a broken vase. You are not a broken vase. There are no cracks and crevices with water seeping through. You are perfect and whole and amazing. All right? Just wanted to tell you, remind you, you know, okay? I want to come back around to the surrender on my next podcast, because the surrender is definitely what helped me get to this space in the first place. And if you're not surrendered to the process of healing, surrendered to the process of evolving, you know, as a being, you might as well just quit now. Sorry, but it's not easy, but it's not impossible. Okay, it's not easy, but it's not impossible is what I mean to say. So we'll definitely dive into that as well. So I really do hope this was good content, good information for you. Hopefully you see yourself in any of these scenarios or things, and it speaks to you in a way that we can have you know, our own conversation. Please look for my information in the description. I'm open for readings. I'm open for coaching sessions, and I'm here for you. All right, love you all. Namaste.